Yes, this is Mr. Controversy, and this is the infamous three-point conversion station. Keep it locked.
Yes, we are back inside the three-point conversion sports lounge. Saturday morning, all about sports. And I'm your host, Mr. Controversy. Did you miss me? What another Saturday morning. So much to get into. Championship weekend. Excited, but bittersweet. Football's about to end. I can't believe it. Man. Anyway, I'm still happy because there's so much to get into. So much going on in other sports as well. And of course, I'm not doing this by myself. We have the lovely Miss Crystal Dayan. She's in the building.
Good morning.
I got my man G. What up, G?
Yo.
Shout out to Dennis, or as we like to call him, the intellectual. My man, he's not in once again. But of course, he's not. We just put him in a rotation right now, and we'll decide what happens. Got my man. We talk about the pitcher, but I look at it as a backup quarterback that comes in and keep the team rolling. We don't miss any. We don't change the plays or nothing like that. We might put more plays in.
He's Nick Foles.
He's Nick Foles. My man, H.O.
I knew that was coming.
What up, Nick?
I knew that was coming. But more importantly, I'm glad you switched the sport. I'm not the reliever anymore because I don't want to be a John Wetland.
Man, we're going to get into that.
I don't want to be a John Wetland.
Right now, it's not good to be a closer.
So I knew that was coming. So if Nick Foles has a $20 million option, I'll take that.
Yeah, he probably will.
I'll take that if that's what we rocking with. But what's up, Atlanta? Once again, another Saturday three-point conversion.
Hey, hold on. No. We ain't going to say Nick Foles. Nick Foles is hot right now, but
his pocket is.
We talk about, well, I guess because he won the Super Bowl with, but I look at more like a Steve Young, because I don't think Nick Foles is going to be in the Hall of Fame. So I look at Steve Young. Steve Young in the building.
Yeah.
Lefty.
Yes. Yeah, I'm ambidextrous as well, so it's all good.
But look, man, we got a great show ahead of you. Got so much to talk about. We're talking about championship weekend. We're talking NFC championship, AFC championship games. We're going to dissect those games. Also, we're not going to let this Kyrie Irving situation with Boston and him calling LeBron, we're not going to let that be swept under the rug. We're going to get into that. Also, we have Mr. Tate Takes, as we like to call him, Deshaun Tate from 92.9 The Game, CBS Radio. He will be in to talk college basketball. And also, we got we're going to get into NBA as well. We're going to talk about Boogie's first game back, how the Golden State Warriors look and what we expect of them. And then, with the hometown Atlanta Hawks, we might have a great coach on our hand. We'll see. Then we got Stop It, What's on My Mind, Quick Hits. Got so much to get into. Make sure you listen to the show or call in to the show at 404-603-8770. We want your 3 cents. And also, you can listen to the show locally on 1100 AM, WWWE The Real. Also, we're on iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, Radio Now, and then we're live on Facebook, the 3-Point Conversion Facebook page on Facebook Live. And also, we're live on YouTube. Check us out on YouTube, the 3-Point Conversion YouTube channel. We're live, so you can watch it there as well. So, it's time to get to these quick hits. Let's get it. Shout out to Sharon Beats for the sick beats. Oh, and our condolences go to Sharon Beats. He lost a family member's grandmother. So, hey, our condolences go to him and his family. Hey, man, you're in our prayers, bro. All right, so multiple players. First of all, we all know about Manny Machado, Bryce Harper. What's going to happen with them? We're wondering. Spring training is approaching, and there's multiple players, including Chris Bryant and Evan Longoria. They're puzzled. They're wondering why aren't they signed yet. H.O., are you wondering this too? Like, these are big names. You would think, and I know the White Sox they've went in and offered him, I think it was $175 million.
Right.
To me, it was a slap in the face, but what's going on, man?
You know, a lot has been going on with baseball, and I just think with what's going on with baseball, the popularity has kind of gone down a little bit. It's trending down in many, many areas. I still support baseball and the things of that nature, but I'm thinking they're in the crossroads where they're trying to get the salary number down.
Right.
And I think that's the big thing. So with a number of 175 coming out for Manning first, you know, I'm thinking that they're trying to, because of the trending down, they're trying to get the salaries down as far as I'm concerned. So I think that's why the hold-up is the hold-up. You know, I think that they're trying to negotiate because it's a domino effect.
Right.
Once these two sign, then it's going to affect everybody else.
Right.
So I think that that's what the hold-up is. I'm not sure if Stanton got $300 million, I think, and so I don't know. And I think what's my guy from the Angels? He got 2 more years left.
Trout.
Yeah, he got 2 more years left on his deal. So these two are gonna be the biggest plug. So I just think that they're trying to get the salary cap. Well, not the salary cap, but they're trying to make the salary come down a bit.
All right, yeah, we're gonna see, because I'm just wondering this is odd. 2 big names like this, probably the biggest names. Moving on. Speaking of baseball, so sad. We telling the truth and shaming the devil. We got on R. Kelly like we should have, but we need to get on this man right here. Remember a closer, and that's why H.O. said he don't want to be associated with baseball and being a closer. But John Wetland, former New York Yankee and played with so many teams, he got arrested on child sex abuse charges. And this was like swept under the rug. Nah, bruh.
Right.
It's sad, and I mean, it's really not too much to say about it.
The pitcher that is known for being the Yankees closer before Mariano came into the fold. So that's probably his biggest connection with baseball. He was the guy before Mariano was. Mm-hmm. And then he went to Texas, I think, and
he didn't do that well. Yeah.
Well, yeah, after they won that World Series, Texas gave him a lot of money to be their closer.
Right.
And we never really heard from him again.
It's up until now where he's doing the child abuse thing.
So, yeah, it's crazy, man. But anyway, moving on. We're talking about some hockey. I know some people want to give us a stop it, but no, this is sports. The deadline for retired NHL players to opt in on the $18.9 million lawsuit has been extended. This is crazy. It's for 318 players who would get $22,000 each. Really? And this is for the concussion lawsuit on concussions, right?
I think more that this would be more for a dental plan. As many times that they get their teeth knocked out.
Right.
I mean, a concussion, they have a helmet on that's you're not really.
They got a bike helmet. You know, you go bike riding.
Yeah.
They wearing that helmet.
I mean, so it's not like you're using your head in the sport. You know, you can get hit in the head with the puck, but how many times have we seen teeth, blood on the ice?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is cool, but they really fighting the wrong battle. I think they should have a better situation with
my equipment. That's just crazy though. To me, 22,000 each. That's like nothing.
Yeah, that's.
Well, I think of the 4 major or 5 if you want to include the MLS.
Yeah, it would be smart in Atlanta right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so of the 5 major sports,
For real.
I don't think the NHL's union is that strong. I mean, we've lost entire seasons with them, so it's not really a concern about. This isn't as major a concern to the teams as far as the front offices as it may be to the players. Like, this wasn't even a story. Like, I didn't even know about this story until I read about it. Like, oh, they've already settled, and that's all they get.
Right.
So it's not a major issue to the teams, and it's hard to get the general American public to care about hockey for the most part. So
yeah,
and then with the union being kind of weak, that we've lost seasons before. There've been a lot of short seasons.
No doubt.
This is probably the best they could do.
Yep.
Yeah, at least they getting something. I mean, hey, applaud them for doing something. I would say that.
Well, like I said, we'll see. I mean, it's sad, but moving on. What's really sad is Carmelo Anthony has been on the bench chilling. He's getting paid, but this is crazy how Houston's doing him, man. And we really don't know if this is Houston's doing or Carmelo's, but
this is so similar to what happened with Keyshawn Johnson with the Bucks.
Yeah,
they just sent him home, and they done it with it happened with T.O. It happened with Stephon Marbury. They just get sent home.
Nick Anderson
with the Magic. Yep. Just send him home.
Jalen Rose with New York.
What team did that?
Knicks.
The Knicks did that.
Yep.
So it's sad, but
I'm surprised the Knicks didn't do this to Carmelo.
I know, but he had too much power. But he is saying that he has several teams that are interested in him, and he's going to make a choice soon.
Yeah, Greg Williams said he turned down 13 jobs.
That's true. Right. But I mean, you would think that Carmelo's not a cancer to the team. Like to me, last year was maybe the first time I saw Carmelo and I was like, you know what? I mean, this year I'm saying, well, last year, his temperament, you know what I'm saying? But other than that.
Real quick before you move on, just give me one word for his resume as of today. Like, look at what all he's...
I mean, he's an elite scorer. I mean, that's what he is. He's an elite scorer. To me, he's an elite scorer that never had that team to back him. He's always played the team when he finally got players, when he got Chauncey. Because I think AI, to me, I don't think that was a good mix for him. Because AI wasn't that dominant player. They made AI a point guard.
They went to a Western Conference Final.
But that's what I was going to say. With Chauncey,
but yeah.
With Chauncey, they did. And that's what I was going to say. They got there. And they challenged the Lakers. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't easy. So, when he moved to New York and Stoudemire gets hurt, and from there on, he's been playing with, no disrespect to anyone else, but he's been playing with bums. So, I mean, but he might have some in the tank. I mean, he was scoring. He can score still. He can shoot. I just think he's been in the wrong system.
It's hard to find a team that he would fit with because of his style of play.
Right.
Like, you're not expecting him to change. This is 16th year. He's not going
to
to change how he plays.
He's not a guy that's, let me sit at the top of the key and I'm going to shoot three-pointers. It's not Carmelo's game. Right. Carmelo, let me face you. I don't think he has the speed in the world, but I can back you up. I mean, you know.
It's not 2003. Or this is not 2000.
Put it like this: it's a lot of teams that need some scoring off the bench or whatever, and they can get that.
But the thing about it is how he does it. Like this is he's a ball stopper, and that's been the thing.
Well, I think this might humble him.
Hadn't done it yet. Ball stopper Joe Johnson. You see where he at?
Yeah.
Back in Arkansas.
But we'll see. Moving on. Shout out to Muhammad Ali. The Louisville Regional Airport has renamed the airport after Muhammad Ali. So, ain't too much to say about that. Much love to Mr. Ali.
Congrats.
Mm-hmm. Now, Scottie Pippen came out and said that Zion Williamson should shut it down for the rest of the college season for the NBA. Quickly, H.O., do you agree? Is Scottie out of his mind, or are you feeling what he's saying?
Selfishly, no, I'm not feeling what he's saying because he played for Duke. But more than anything, he is what college basketball needs right now. I mean, because the run that they've been on with all these one and dones and things of that nature is not a great draft this year. And who else are you going to ride with for the season? Everybody is tuning in to see Zion. Mm-hmm. If that goes away, then college basketball goes down. So I mean, he has to play.
Right. I understand from Scottie's point. He's just basically saying, like, you don't want nothing to happen to him. And the way your career is right now, like, you go number one, I mean, they might buy you a rocket, you know what I'm saying, for your, just to sign a deal with some endorsement or whatever. So I understand. But you're right. College basketball needs this right now. We hadn't had that in a while.
Right.
And last but not least, shout out to the Hall of Fame former quarterback for the Buffalo Bills, Jim Kelly, got an MRI, which showed that he is cancer-free. So
That's what's up.
That's great. It's good to hear. It's a good guy. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back with the hot topic.
The Hawks are 14-30, and the Celtics are 27-18. The Georgia Tech men's basketball team are back home against the Louisville Cardinals today at 4 p.m. The Georgia State travels to Alabama to play Troy in an effort to extend their winning streak to 8 in a row and for their 15th win of the season. Manny Pacquiao will face Adrian Bronner tonight in the ring for the welterweight belt. Make sure to follow the 3-Point Conversion for exclusive Super Bowl coverage and all your major sports news updates. It's where fans' opinions matter.
Have you been looking for a radio station that gives you sports?
I don't believe it! It's a touchdown!
Entertainment?
Are you not entertained?
And other special interest talk shows?
Well, isn't that special?
All on one app?
Yo, that's dope. What app is that?
It's the Real 1100 AM app for WWE. Grab it for free in your Google Play or Apple App Store today.
What's up? This Chris Tucker for the 3-Point Conversion. Let's go.
Yes, we are back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. It's your man, Mr. Controversy here. Chilling with my man, H.O.
Yeah.
And this next segment, the hot topic, is brought to you by Seneca's Barbershop, located on Chapel Hill Road, 3000 Chapel Hill Road, Suite 206, Douglasville, Georgia. Make sure you check them out. Great barbershop. Great place to get your hair cut. Great place to just hang around. You know how it is with fellas sometimes. Just want to get away from the wife or the home or whatever it is and just talk mess, laugh, have fun. It's the perfect place. Make sure you check out Dwayne Chambers. You go all the way down to the left, the last barber on your left, Mr. Dwayne Chambers, and you can follow him on Instagram at Simha the Barber. That's SIMHATHEBARBER. Now, it is hot topic time, and G, do you have the clip? All right, we're going to play this quick clip and just real quick, briefly, then we're going to get into this hot topic. Go ahead, G.
I've been there in the championship, I've tasted it, but I can't expect that they're going to get it right away either. So it was a big deal for me because I had to call Bron, and tell him, I apologize for being that young player that wanted to everything at his fingertips, and I wanted everything to be at, my threshold. I wanted to be the guy that led us to championship. I wanted to be the leader. I wanted to be all that, and the responsibility of being the best player in the world and leading a team is something that's not meant for many people.
That was Mr. Kyrie Irving. So it was a situation where they were playing Orlando Magic, and it was the last few seconds of the game, and I think they were down by 1, and they were taking the ball out, and I think Jaylen Brown took the ball out, and Kyrie was at half court, waiting to make a move, but Jaylen Brown decided to pass the ball to Gordon Hayward. Hayward took a corner three-pointer attempt, which missed, and Kyrie had this yo, what's going on? What are y'all doing? And it seemed like they ran the play too fast, and he was expecting to come in and get the ball. And after the game, as soon as the game ended, Kyrie had his hands up, talking to Gordon about, I guess, discussing this is what we should have done and everything like that.
Gordon actually took the ball out.
I thought Gordon took the shot. It's like Gordon took the shot.
Tatum took the shot.
Tatum took the shot. Okay.
Gordon.
They look alike. So Tatum took the shot.
Yeah.
They both.
Gordon went too fast.
My bad. Yeah, Gordon passed it out.
He went
Tatum.
too fast
Right.
based on what the announcer said. I think he was a little. They was a little impatient. They cleared it out, but he went to Jason in the corner. But Kyrie was at the top of the key, and he was supposed to get the ball there. So that's how they went down.
So with him saying that, he called LeBron, and he apologized. First of all, when you hear that, what is your first thought?
That I respect the process of what being a guy who has his team, what it means.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a lot of times in Cleveland he took the last shot. But him going to Boston, you figure that this is his team. Anytime we get down to this level, this is what I do. If we looked at Boston last year, they played great as a team,
right?
But they didn't have the best player on the floor. And a lot of times, he's the best player on the floor, so they could not close without him. If they had him to close games, then, that's pretty much what he's saying. He's known for a game winner in the championship against Golden State. We've seen him have many game-winning shots. So, in the clip, you heard him saying that, I've tasted this. I've been here. And the young guys, maybe they'll get it. So, it's a lot that you can really look at this and just be like, it's a lot of hidden messages, subliminal messages, and things of that nature. So it's a lot to talk about as far as this is concerned.
Yeah, I mean, I took it as he understands now, like you
Right.
said. It's just the fact that I've been there where, you think you know it all, you think you know it, and but now it's like, it's part of growing up. And to me, when I think about this, the only way he could have grew up with something like this is go through it. Now he's gone through it. The key is, now that you understand that because he understands the side of, all right, I know why you were upset at me, and I know I was doing some things selfish, being selfish.
As a young kid.
But now, how do you handle knowing that they're not doing that way? How do you respond? How do you keep the morale up, but yet still teach? And can you do it with these young guys on this team?
And that's Kyrie has been known to many people have said he's kind of weird in his thinking. You know, we flat. The earth is flat and things of that. I mean, a lot of things gets taken out of out of context. But I think even a week or two prior to all of this happening, we was looking at the situation where LeBron has been hurt. The Lakers have been kind of, not being up to par. And LeBron was kind of feeling like, I wish I had that number 2 guy still.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And not even to mention when Kyrie called LeBron, guess who was he was eating dinner with? Kevin Love.
Mm-hmm.
So was LeBron apologizing to Kevin Love for leaving Cleveland? Or what's that conversation like? So a lot of times I think behind the scenes, we all may think and feel that players don't respect or jive and rock with each other. But I think in all, I think there's a genuine respect for players who get it. And I think once you get to that upper echelon, you get it. And I think that's basically what Kyrie was trying to do. But I think that's up to Brad Stevens and his coaching staff to try to help blend that mix in, because you got to understand these young guys got to a level last year where most young guys don't get to.
Right.
They went all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yep.
So now you telling them to pull back down,
right,
to lower your play, lower your minutes. And so they got to battle that. Terry Rozier reportedly asked for a trade earlier in the season. Jaylen Brown not happy with his minutes. Boston still haven't figured out, how to blend Kyrie and be the best team and then have the best player on the floor at the same time. So it's a lot of moving parts in Boston that just not settled yet.
Right.
And, we still got the All-Star break, trade deadline, and that's going to be one of the big keys. And I love to hear Joe talk about if they have to make a move to try to get this situation straight at some point.
Because I've said that they have too much. I think it is a time where you can have too much talent because it's different. Now, when you look at the Portland Trail Blazers, I think it was 99, 2000 year, Portland, they had a lot of talent. I mean, you think about it, they had Scottie Pippen, Rasheed Wallace, Greg Anthony, Detlef Schrempf.
Oh, you talking about the Jailblazers?
Yeah. Who else they had? They had
Steve Smith.
Steve Smith.
Yep.
Stacey Ogman.
Oh my, yeah. I remember that.
One more person they had was like.
Was
Did they have Stoudemire?
They had Damon Stoudemire.
Was Cliff Robinson still playing?
He went on that team.
He wasn't on that team.
Okay.
Damon Stoudemire was on that team. Bonzi Wells.
Yeah.
Bro, like that team was stacked, but they were able to get 2, and they got cheated. They should have got to the finals. But it's different because you had Scottie had been in the league 11 plus years. Steve Smith had been in the league 9+ years.
Yeah, they was all not. They were
Greg
not
Anthony
young.
had been in the league 7+ years. But this team right here, Kyrie is still young. It's just the fact that Kyrie has experience because he's played on a championship team,
right,
and been to the finals. But when you think about it, this team is very young. Gordon Hayward is still young. But look at Tatum, look at Jaylen Brown. I even asked the point guard, the backup, Rozier. I asked Rozier, go to our YouTube channel or wherever you want to go on there. I asked Rozier about it. And he said it's a lot of teams, a lot of players that feel like they can get their shot. That's what he said. And you can't have that when you have young players. Like, right. I think because everybody feels like, look at a young Kobe. Even though Kobe was so focused on winning the championship, but he still wanted to do it in a sense, a certain way, which the team didn't need that. You know what I'm saying? And that's youth. I get it. But how is Kyrie going to now gather everybody around? Because how did they take this? And then, of course, the media is making it more than what it is. But like Charles Barkley said, he felt like Kyrie threw him under the bus.
Threw his teammates under the bus.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, his teams, right. So how So how does he come to his team and get everybody on the same page now?
I don't know about throwing him under the bus. You can obviously look at it that way. But he had 38 last night.
He bought 38 and 11 assists.
Then a couple of nights before, he had a career high 18 assists.
Right.
Winning cures it all. Winning cures it all. And I think that somebody go have to listen. I think that Brad Stevens has to help this situation out as well. Hell, he's young.
Mm-hmm.
He's still a young coach. But I think they figure this thing out. I'm not sure about throwing the team under the bus. I just think that it was a very open, genuine situation where, the light bulb comes on and you just, hey, man, I get it.
Right.
I get it. So it's we'll see. I just say we'll see. Still not sure if they figured it out as far as when Kyrie takes over or when they need to play team ball. It's almost like the Kevin Durant Golden State. When do you just let KD just go one-on-one, isolate? But then you wearing on the fabric of Clay may not get off because the ball don't move now.
Right.
So that's a challenge. And I'm sure we're going to get to Golden State and Boogie, later on in this segment. Later on, in the show.
Yeah, I just, like I said, I wonder what happens. They come to Atlanta tonight. They're playing the Hawks tonight.
Right.
The three-point conversion will be there with the coverage. So we'll see. Hopefully we get some great sound bites. Yeah.
Let's look out for body language. Let's look for body language and how they interact.
Right. That's
off
the thing.
Off the
to
floor.
Me, the person I think that's suffering the most from this is Jaylen Brown. Because you saw what he did last year. And in the beginning and how he was taking off. And then Tatum just... And I think he was okay with Tatum. I'm getting my playing time. But I think now that Gordon's came back, and Gordon still hadn't showed us.
Yeah, one great game.
Yeah.
I think, 38.
So it's kind of like, I feel for him, man. I understand how you feel.
And the thing, Jalen is a year older than Jason. But when Jason came as a rookie, he kind of outshined a second-year Jalen.
Yeah.
Then Gordon comes in after being hurt, and Jalen still has to come off the bench at the start of the season.
Hey,
that's tough.
Just put it like this. This is why teams need veterans on the squad to help with situations like this. Old veterans probably not even playing, but just that's what they need. But look, we're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back.
Three-point conversion, Kevin Herter with the Atlanta Hawks.
Tune your radio.
Tune in.
Now.
You can tune into this radio station on any smartphone or tablet.
iPhone,
Android,
BlackBerry,
Nokia,
Samsung,
Windows phones,
or whatever you have. Download the free TuneIn app from your phone or tablet's app store.
Tune in with music, sports, news, and comedy.
From over 70,000 radio stations around the world, including this Beasley Broadcast Group station. Check it out at TuneIn.com.
Or your app store.
Yo, this is Jalen Adams of the Atlanta Hawks, and you're listening to the Three-Point Conversion. You get.
All right, we are back inside the Three-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. It is championship week. first game on Sunday, the LA Rams travel to New Orleans to play the Saints. Man, we saw the first matchup. Looking at the game, first matchup, it came down to that. What was it, a fake field goal that the Rams pulled off? They tried to pull off.
Mm-hmm.
And from there, there was catching, and that was the play of the game. That lost the game.
Right. Gurley wasn't used as much.
No.
They had Cooper Kupp.
Yep.
They did not have C.J. Anderson, so maybe, because I think they reverted as a game plan for the Rams last week. They reverted to we going to run the ball,
right?
Because Cooper Kupp, our guy, isn't available, and only have Robert Woods and Brandon Cooks,
right,
running seam routes or maybe post routes or whatever the case may be. So they kept the ball on the ground, kind of kept it out of the Cowboys' hands, getting first downs after first down. So the 1-2 punch of C.J. Anderson and Todd Gurley worked for them. The issue this week is the Saints has the number one rushing defense in the league, but we don't know how does a two-headed monster work, because C.J. Anderson is like a bowling ball.
Yeah.
He bruising. So if he's bruising and then you get Todd Gurley to come and maybe a counter player here or there or a stretch play, then he may pop.
And it's funny how this has always been where when I look at running backs, the way Todd Gurley clearly is a better running back than C.J. Anderson.
Right.
But the styles and how it fits certain schemes, look at how C.J. hits the hole.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's played in this zone read system,
Right, in Denver.
And the way he's hitting the hole perfectly. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And Gurley is more smooth with it. He still hits it, but he's smooth. CJ, I don't have time to waste.
Yeah,
Let me get in.
Bruising.
Hit somebody.
Yeah.
And after a while, linebackers and safeties,
they get tired.
Throughout the game, they get tired. And they don't want to take that bruising because they know they got to chase this wide receiver.
Yeah. And it's almost mirror images. You look at New Orleans on the other side, Mark Ingram is their bruiser.
Mm-hmm.
Then you coming back with Kamara. It's almost like the same thing with the Rams. You got C.J. Anderson with the bruiser. Then you coming back with Todd Gurley. The only other thing is Michael Thomas is their only receiver that Breeze really go to.
Right.
At least on the other side, you got Robert Woods and Brandon Cooks. So it's like the Rams may have more weapons, but Breeze has more experience.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, so what do you take? Is it going to come down to, or how effective would Taysom Hill even be, because he was game changer last week with the fake punt against the Eagles, which, significantly got the ball rolling for them to propel to a victory. So using Taysom Hill in some kind of quarterback or a fake punt or however the case may be, I mean, the game is basically even on paper. You just got Breeze as far as the experience. They're at home. Besides Seattle, I think the Saints get more false start penalties and things of that nature, offsides or whatever, on the opponents than any other team in the league. So it's going to be very, very interesting.
Now, this is what I want to focus on. When I'm watching the game, I'm focusing on when you look at the Saints. The Saints have Michael Thomas. You look at the other receivers, not really. The fact that Ben Watson is not playing is going to be huge. I think that's going to be big because of experience. He's played with Breeze the whole season. But Talib is back now. So Talib is going to be playing for the most part. He's probably going to be shadowing Michael Thomas. Why wouldn't you?
Right. Yeah, we know Peters can't shadow him.
Peters can't, no.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the linebackers, I think that's the biggest, I guess, difference. And the fact that now, who's my man that came? I can't think of his name right now. From Jacksonville, the linebacker that came.
Oh, yeah. Went to Florida.
That came.
Fowler.
Fowler,
yeah. So he wasn't there the first game they played. But still, I don't think that the Rams linebackers can run with Kamara or, even sniff out a screenplay. They don't have the speed. And I think that's where the Saints can dominate. But, of course, we know if they get pressure. Last game, I don't think Donald affected Breeze. I don't think he affected him like that. So, can we see Sue step up? Because I think Sue is the X factor now. Because if Sue plays a great game, then you kind of have to, okay, do we want to double Donald or a double? You can't double both.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then if they start doubling both, what does that call for? A blitz. Now you got open lanes for the blitzer. So it's a chess game, man. It's a chess game. I just feel like the Rams right now, they can't make mistakes. We've seen all season, if you make mistakes with the Saints, what happens? The Saints win. When you look at the Saints' losses, Dallas didn't make any mistakes. When they played them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, this was a long, long time ago, but I know it was game one. But the Buccaneers, oddly enough, didn't make any mistakes when they beat them the first game. It's all about mistakes. So you can't make mistakes against this team because Sean Payton and this experienced team, they know how to capitalize.
I think another thing we got to look at is the Saints got out to a 21-7 lead in the first time they played, and which forced obviously the Rams to
get out of
that run game, and so that could be a significant ploy for the Saints to try to get out.
So do you say if the Rams get the ball, they don't defer this time? You want to get the ball and score?
Yeah. You gotta stay ahead.
They gotta score points, and they have to get Todd Gurley involved early,
right?
Because if he's effective, that makes Goff effective. Because a lot of what they do is they do actually do a lot of play action.
Mm-hmm.
So you need the Saints worried about Gurley, and Goff will be able to make good plays.
And Goff missing some players too. Like, he didn't have the receivers he had, but at the same time, like I said, if they're not playing from behind, and it's weird to hear about a team that in this day and age that had the ability to put up points,
mm-hmm.
but they play a slow grinding type of, I think it's like 60%, 65% or something like that. Goff is behind the center. He's not shotgun. Well, everybody else, you shotgun.
But see, and I'm glad you brought that up. But to G's point, when you get on the center, the play action is more effective.
Right, it is.
You know what I'm saying?
But you got to run that ball though.
Now, that's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing. So you're right. But even when looking at these highlights, and if you're on 3-point conversion, watching the show, looking at the highlights, Gurley, I mean, he was gassing them in the beginning. They just got behind.
They got behind. That stupid play.
Yeah, they just got behind.
That stupid play.
How effective do you think that the field goal kicking is going to kind of come into play?
I mean, both kickers can kick. I don't think that's it. I think more of who makes that turnover first. Because with these two teams, like, we know the Saints, they get rolling. But with the Rams, when they get rolling, like we said, it's methodical. They just driving down the field, taking the time off. Their defense is resting.
Right.
And then
how does and I guess this is a point too. You know, the Saints play the Falcons twice, and they run this same kind of offense. Does that help them in some way prepare for the Rams? I mean, because, you know, when you look at it, the zone blocking is the zone blocking.
Right.
And they've been in shootouts with Atlanta, and they really hadn't stopped Atlanta. They just, you know, end up with the ball last.
Right.
So either it says that it's still going to be a shootout because we probably can't stop the Rams, or I've had so much film that I'm going to try a different wrinkle to see if I can stop them.
But this
I think Dennis Allen, the defense coordinator for the Saints, right? Yeah, right. So
but
he
this
has
is,
to come
but
up
this
with a
is
plan.
why you pick up a former head coach, a known legend as far as defensive coach, and Wade Phillips.
Right.
Wade, you have to do your thing in this game, man. Your game plan has to work because it hadn't.
Right.
So we have to see some type of wrinkle, which usually happens in the playoffs anyway.
Exactly.
But it has to happen.
Yeah,
something
agree.
that they hadn't seen, something they're not used to.
Right.
You know, that's why I say maybe blitz. You got to, because think about it. With Breeze, we know he's very precise with his passing and he's accurate. But the fact that he's if he gets pressure, he can make a mistake. And we know with Talib, with Peters, there's some ball hawking. Even my guy, number 20, I can't think of his last name right now. But Joyner, they're all ball hawks. So if you blitz, that's why I say Sue has to play well, because if Sue is playing well or if Donald is getting pressure, either or. But if Sue is playing well, you're already doubling Donald, and you're trying to double Sue, then you have free lanes to blitz.
Right. I think their best choice is to try to take Michael Thompson out of the game. And Eli Apple, did he play the first time that they played?
No.
I don't think he
know.
did.
I don't know.
I think that could be an advantage.
Oh, yeah.
For, the Saints.
Rams. You mean the Rams?
No, Eli Apple with the Saints.
Right.
Oh, you said it's a...
Yeah, I'm saying... Because, he going to bust a coverage. You know
I hear you. Yeah.
Right. All right, so we're going...
I don't know. I don't think he's that bad.
So we're going to wrap that up. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to be back to talk AFC Championship. The legend versus the pupil. We'll be right back.
Hey, this is Gary Payton. Y'all listen to 3 Point Conversion Radio. It's the bomb.
There's a lot going on in the world, and your world is always changing. That's why it's important to stay connected. The latest news, the latest entertainment, the newest music. If it's in the air or on the air, it can be in the palm of your hand, wherever you are, with the iHeartRadio app.
iHeartRadio.
Over 1,500 live radio stations from across the country, and over 15 million songs to create your own custom stations. Text IHR to 45495 to download the app or listen at iHeartRadio.com. Standard text and data rates apply.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Cat Williams, and you are listening to 3 Point Conversion Radio.
All right, we are back inside the 3 Point Conversion Sports Lounge. The late game for Sunday is the legend, probably the myth, Tom Brady and the New England Patriots traveling to Kansas City to face those young Chiefs. A lot of people say they don't believe in Andy, H.O.
Yep.
A lot of people say Andy always messes up around this time, G. Is this finally the time that he gets over? And before you say that, I want to say this. Let's keep in mind, and I've been saying this, he hadn't had this amount of talent on those past teams. Can we agree to that? You all agree with me, right?
He hadn't had this much talent at quarterback.
No, he hadn't had as much talent at receiver.
I think he's had the talent at quarterback. He's had the talent at quarterback.
Yeah, he's had it.
Who, McNabb?
Yeah.
McNabb was good, but
McNabb
who
was
he
very
throwing
good.
to?
Who was he
Freddie
throwing
Mitchell?
to?
James Thrash?
Terrell Owens.
For a year and a half.
1 year.
A year and a half, they had Terrell Owens. They made a Super Bowl.
They made a Super Bowl
when
that
he
year.
had receivers.
Right. So what I'm
but
saying
otherwise,
is James Thrash, Mitchell.
James Thrash. That's what I call him.
Who was the other guy? Ty Pinkston. Stop it. Like he only weapons he had was Donovan McNabb and Westbrook. That's it. So now last year you had Kareem Hunt. That was it.
I don't think McNabb was
what?
I don't think he is as talented as this kid.
No, we're not saying that.
Well, no.
We're not saying that.
But
I'm saying he had talent at quarterback.
Right. I said as much talent. That's what I'm saying.
But I'm saying McNabb really got him to the NFC Championship all those years. It was McNabb's play. It was just the coaching and talent, I would say more so talent. Talent, if you don't have talent, it can only get you so far, man.
Yeah, but I mean, it's football. Just scheme it up.
Nah.
Scheme.
Because but I understand, but if it's scheme, if you're playing against another great team, you have scheme. If I have Terrell Owens on one team doing the same scheme against his defensive team versus Ty Pinkston, T.O.'s going to win that battle, going to do better for that scheme. And that's what I'm saying. Like they just didn't have talent.
But if he got to a certain level with Pinkston, then
you can only go so far, man.
Right, but you weren't even supposed to get that far.
Right, that's
so
what I'm saying.
The scheme worked
until a certain point with it. That's why I say with talent, right? And I think that now with Kansas City, they have the talent. There's no more excuses for Andy Reid. I don't think people were giving him excuses anyway. I was saying they don't have talent.
Listen, lack of talent is not an excuse when you can make moves. You know what you need, so make the moves.
No, you're right.
So don't tell me I'm this and this and that. It's like, well, I'm not happy in this relationship. Well, why you still there?
Right.
I mean, let's make a move. I think this is just like Phillip Rivers last week. This is your signature moment. You've never beaten Tom Brady. We know that you're gonna probably be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Mm-hmm.
But can we say you have a signature win any part of your career? This was his opportunity. This week, Andy Reid, is your turn. You have to give me a signature win. You're at home. You have a quarterback that have thrown 50 touchdowns. You have elite talent even without Kareem Hunt on the team. This is the signature moment that you have to come through and be to eliminate all these naysayers that says that you, my friend, can only get a team so far because for whatever reason.
And now with Andy Reid, we say he has a talent. This is his chance. But now he has to go against the evil genius.
Yeah.
And we saw the last game they played. The score was like 49-43, something like that.
43-40.
Yeah, and
Brady threw for 340. Sony Michel rushed for 106, 2 touchdowns. Gronk had 97 yards and 3 receptions.
Now, we all thought that the Colts were this team that said, okay, this is another, Colts look good. They might go up to Kansas City and beat them. I didn't think that, but a lot of people thought that. Colts offense looked pretty good until they played Kansas City.
Right.
Do you think Kansas City has a chance to slow down the Patriots? Now, they saying Eric Berry is on his way, like he's on schedule to play.
What's there that they have to slow down?
What
are the Chiefs trying to? So
James White,
run game, James White.
Okay, so they have to worry about someone covering James White out of the backfield,
right? Quick passes to James White out of the backfield,
and that's probably going to be like one of the 5 plays the Patriots will run.
They can't
do you think they'll be because I think we talked about as obvious as they were against the Chargers.
Right.
James White is the game. We're going to throw the ball to him.
Right.
When Sony Michel's in the game, we're going to
run the ball. Right.
Right.
And that's the thing. I think they can't allow Sony to gas them. Mm-hmm. I just think that run game, because he can't go downfield. He ain't got nobody to throw the ball to. I mean, he can't. It's dink and dunk the whole time.
And see, right, and that's my point, is the fact that the Patriots, man, they so gangster with it. To me, that's why. You hate them, but you have to love them, because it don't matter who they have, they find a way to move the ball down the field. It almost seems like the worse the talent is, the more they score. You know what I'm saying? Like, how in the world did they just? And that's where it's scheming. But that's where you have players that played. Now, trust me. But it's not like Patriots have horrible players.
Dave had some fixed eggs and rice.
Right.
Going to the Super Bowl.
Right. But Eagles that team was, them wide receivers was horrible. I probably would put Crystal over Todd Pinkston. I would let her play.
Bro, they won a Super Bowl with Troy Brown.
But
David Patton.
Yes.
But Troy Brown went bad like that.
Come on, bro. Troy Brown.
At one point, Troy Brown was
in New England. When he left New England, what happened?
Man, he was 108 years old.
Like I said, when he left New England, what happened? He had to end up coming back.
No, you talking about Deion Branch.
Well, him too.
Yeah, Deion Branch might not have been that good.
Troy Brown wasn't good either.
Troy Brown was very respectable when
he just had to. They had to put him at safety.
Yeah, because
he was returning kicks. He was doing.
He was doing everything. Yeah,
he was punting, serving
Gatorade.
Is
he talented though? Or was he just in a good scheme? Let's be real.
I think he's talented. He was a kick returner, getting touchdowns. I'm just saying, but either or. But the whole point is, like you're saying,
they scheme better than Andy Reid.
Yeah,
that's all it's been. And you have the talent. Mahomes threw for 352, 4 touchdowns against the Patriots the last game. Now, he did have 2 interceptions.
Mm-hmm.
If he didn't throw those picks, the Chiefs probably win the game.
Right. Kareem Hunt, 8 yards a carry.
Mm-hmm.
He rushed for 80 yards, 10 attempts. He didn't have any touchdowns. Will Damian Williams be able to carry some production into this game that could give them a solid running game to allow Cheetah and Kelsey, Sammy Watkins, and all them to really get off?
Yeah, that's what it comes down to. But again, I think the Patriots on the other end, they have to run the ball. I would run it, slow it down.
Yeah.
But if some way, somehow, KC can slow them down, then, it's funny because the Patriots, their whole game plan is, let's take time off the clock, whether it's running the ball,
right,
dunking it to White, dunking it to Edelman.
Right.
He'll go deep he'll get you, but that's what it is. So if KC can stop him from that.
Can we at least talk about the weather? It wasn't. The weather wasn't a factor last time.
Right.
The weather forecast stands for 16 degrees. They read at game time, feeling like 5 below or something crazy. So the weather could play a part.
But on who though? Because New England used to play.
That's the thing.
And the funny thing is, both teams play in this type of weather. I mean,
right. It may force them both to run the ball more.
Is Tom Brady's deflated ball is going to be more heavier? that has a. All right, so we're gonna take a quick break.
You know what I'm saying.
We'll be right back with the Stop It segment. Stop it.
This is Leilani Mitchell from the Phoenix Mercury, and you're listening to the 3-Point Conversion.
You're tuned into WWE AM 1100.
The opinions expressed during the sponsored programs on this station are strictly those of the program hosts, guests, and callers and are not necessarily those of Beasley Broadcast Group, this station, its staff, other advertisers, or agencies.
What's going on, folks? It's LA and Eric from Brownstown, USA podcast on the 3-Point Conversion.
You know, LA, these guys may have the smarts on a national level, but I think we can take them when it comes to the 216.
Man, stop it. You're on Garbage Watch. Anyway, check us out weekly for updates, news, stories, and opinions you can count on about football from the heartland of America, the Cleveland Browns.
Only on the 3-Point Conversion. Now let's throw it back to the Sports Lounge now!
Hey, what's going on, sports fans? It's the 2018 Battlegrounds champion, Damian Adams, from The Real Deal with Damian Adams. Now, you can catch my show weekly on the 3-Point Conversion station on Spreaker Radio. But for right now, I'm doing what everybody else should be doing, and that's listening to Mr. Controversy and The Intellectual in the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge.
No mercy. Don't let up on him. Go hard on him, Mr. Controversy. Hit him with the stop it button.
All right. We are back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. It's time where we love to thank our family and friends and everyone who is supporting us. We appreciate you supporting not only the show, but the 3-Point Conversion company itself. And now it is time for the most infamous, the most famous Stop It segment. Let's get it.
Stop, hey. Stop, 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 stop. Stop it! Stop it, stop it.
Yes, S-T-O-P, new word, I-T. Stop it!
Stop it. Get some help.
All right, H.O., it's on you.
All right, my stop it this week goes out to no other than the Dallas Cowboys for firing Scott Linehan in this part of the year when all of the coaches have been snatched up, and now you're still in the same position of you're going to have to pick the barrel of the bottom as far as offensive coordinator. You had an opportunity to bring in someone like a Cliff Kingsbury. He could have just taken that job instead of being in Arizona because he's from the area.
Hold up, I got to give you a stop it for even suggesting Cliff Kingsbury.
Yeah, you're a Dallas fan though. That's why.
Why Cliff Kingsbury shouldn't have been hired in Arizona.
I agree with that.
Why would Dallas hire to be their offensive coordinator?
It was an option. You don't even have that option now. What options do you have in Dallas now?
Only Arizona. They weren't looking at Cliff Kingsbury as an option.
Ooh, Tony Dungy? He gonna come back and be the offensive coordinator? Who's out there? It's bad timing. Dallas does it again. maybe if Jerry wasn't been at the auction trying to buy this yacht, he could have tended his business in Dallas and got rid of Scott Lanahan at the end of the season, where you have options to pick an offensive coordinator.
This just means Jason Garrett's going to be the offense coordinator. So I expect Dallas to take a step back next year.
All right. My stop it goes to, and this is, I mean, it's a two-part stop. Not a two-part stop it, but it's so many stop it's within this stop it moment I have. First, so basically what it is Shaquille O'Neal came on TV and said that he wants to run for sheriff in Henry County. I think he says he's going to wait till like 2020, what,
2024?
Something like that.
And what Henry County?
In Georgia.
In Georgia.
Stop it.
Stop it. Stop it. Now, most of y'all probably don't know about Henry County. This is the last county he's probably going to get any type of job like that. But does he even, why does he think he's a sheriff? Like,
he's been, anyone who's ever watched him play or see what he does off the court, he's been obsessed kind of with being a police officer, with being a cop. Like when he was playing for the Heat, he was volunteering with the sheriff's department in Dade County or Broward County, one of those. I think he's done stuff with the FBI.
Yep.
Like, he even thought, I think there was something about him being an undercover cop, which is just impossible.
That's stop it in itself.
Yeah, like I mean, I don't get.
But he's always been interested in law enforcement, and I don't know where it comes from, really. Maybe he watched a lot of Columbo as a kid. I'm not really sure.
This is my man. See him put on that raincoat. See how
I don't know. I just don't get it, man.
He's certified, I think, in Miami.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
That's what I don't understand. Like,
oh,
not why he likes it, but why is he certified? But go ahead.
I just had I had a quick stop it to football in general with the job creation. I believe there was someone who was the game management, clock management coordinator for the Falcons.
Flood.
Yeah. How is that a job? Like, your job is to make sure, like, to look at how much time is left on the clock. And when we should use our timeouts or use challenges. Like, there's one person and that is their job.
Well, the third down scenarios, when to go for two.
I thought there was like a sheet for when to go for two.
Well, obviously, I don't know.
That was something somebody made up. Someone got paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to do. The ratio between if we can go for it on fourth down from this. I mean, it's the 2-minute drill before the half, that kind of stuff. I mean, that's a set of plays. That should be an offensive coordinator job.
Right.
But this guy has a job or had a job because I think he went to Alabama or something.
He went to he's at Alabama.
So to make sure, like, okay, we have this much time left on the clock. Coach, do you want to use a timeout now?
Right.
Because if we don't use it, then we'll have this much time left.
Right.
Well, it's that the job is open now.
The head coach has too much to deal with. He can't do simple math.
I don't know, man.
Been an issue.
That's crazy.
Been an issue.
All right, we're gonna take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Let me break down to y'all what's so dope about the three-point conversion. First of all, everybody is a fan of the game first. Second of all, everybody is a student of the game second. And third of all, we're the average sports fan just like everybody else. We're not coming in here, walking with our nose tipped high, acting snooty, acting brand new. This is a grassroots organization. Bar none. The three-point conversion, where fans' opinions matter. Be sure to visit the website www.the3pointconversion.com. Get your fix, get your articles, multimedia, and everything else that you, as a sports fan, need. So again, the3pointconversion.com. It's where it's at, man, where fans' opinions matter.
There's a lot going on in the world, and your world is always changing. That's why it's important to stay connected. The latest news, the latest entertainment, the newest music. If it's in the air or on the air, it can be in the palm of your hand, wherever you are, with the iHeartRadio app.
iHeartRadio.
Over 1,500 live radio stations from across the country, and over 15 million songs to create your own custom stations. Text IHR to 45495 to download the app or listen at iHeartRadio.com. Standard text and data rates apply.
Hey, did you know The Real 1100 AM is now on Facebook? Man, that's right. You can catch all your favorite shows on The Real 1100 WWE Facebook page. It's real, y'all.
Whether it's quick hits, what's on my mind, the infamous Stop It segment, you got to be there every Saturday morning on the 3-Point Conversion station for the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge hosted by Mr. Controversy. Get him!
All right, we are back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. What you got going on today, H.O.?
Well, my Duke is playing 6, and got to fight tonight.
Big game.
Yeah, they play Virginia. Trey Jones is not as hurt as first initial thought. He has not been ruled out of this game yet, but probably would not play. So Cam Reddish is back in the lineup. It's at home. Game day is there. So that's a big thing. Then, of course, the fight tonight. And try to stay dry. It's horrible weather out there.
Ugly out there. What you got, Miss Crystal?
Well, I'm going to go hit the gym. Back in the gym. Work out when we get done here. And the fight tonight, absolutely. And stay warm, absolutely. Warm and dry.
G, what you got going on tonight?
Well, it looks like I'm going to be at the State Farm Arena to cover the Hawks versus the Boston Celtics. And you can follow all the updates on 3pointconversion.com, the Facebook page, the Instagram, the Twitter, the MySpace, the Friendster page.
I'm watching the game. I'm not doing anything tonight. I'm gonna check out that Duke game also. And I want to check out who plays tonight. It's the NBA game.
Oh yeah, it's their prime Saturday.
It's Houston and but the Philly. I want to see Philly play. I want to see Philly. They're playing OKC.
Philly and OKC plays today at 3:30.
Yeah, I want to watch that.
The Lakers and the Rockets will play tonight.
No, I'm good. Well, I want to see what James Harden does. So that's about it. But other than that,
he's going to hit 60 soon. He scored 58 and 57.
Right.
I think he might go for 60.
And speaking of the Hawks, what are y'all thoughts on, because they're winning, and I made a joke, and I really don't think that the Hawks are, we know they're not tanking. Everybody want to say they're tanking. We know that, but it's just a simple fact that when you look at the Hawks, they're winning, man, and they're playing tough, even with people out. And I made a joke. I was saying, because at one point, and shout out to my man Jaden Adams, because Jaden Adams did the drop for us.
Right.
Jalen Adams, they put Jalen Adams, they put Daniel Hamilton, they had put Alex Lynn. It was like a weird lineup. And everybody's like, what are they doing? Why are they putting this lineup in? And I remember looked over and told the young lady, I was like, well, they probably called Coach Lloyd Pearson, was like, bro, you doing too much winning. I don't know what you're trying to do. We're trying, and I made a joke, but of course they end up beating OKC, beat them badly too.
Put up 142 on the best defense in the league.
So, do you think that Coach Pierce was the biggest acquisition this offseason for the Hawks?
I think you can argue that point. Because no one knew what to expect, so you really didn't have anything to go on. And obviously I talked about expectation last week. But to be able to rebuild with a guy that's fresh like him, to take this young team, we talking about young, very young team, and to put up the type of numbers, like they put up 142 on the best defense in the league. I mean, this young team. I mean, I don't know if most people can name outside of the starters any other players on the team
from anywhere else. Right? Yeah.
I mean, you're right. And shout out to DeAndre Bembry, man. He's making the most of his opportunity while Prince is hurt. Kevin Huerter obviously has been a big surprise. Trey is still giving you 17 and 7. I don't know what else to say. John Collins is, if not an all-star, he at the door and somebody coming to the door because he just rung the doorbell.
Yeah, and I've been watching him in practice and even before the game shooting around. He's working on that mid-range jumper. Like that's what he's been doing. Yeah. You'll see him shooting that jumper. Yeah, I said a statement about a month ago. We were talking about the Hawks, and I remember saying a statement that if Atlanta, when they got Pierce, and this is a young team, and it looked like the team was getting away, which you understood it, we were young, but I said,
right.
If Coach get to the point where he start yelling at folks and show people, that we're not standing for this. We're not. I know we're learning, but we're not standing for this. Put his passion in it. I said I think the Hawks might be able to go somewhere, and it'll wake him up.
Right.
You started to see him do that the last 2 or 3 weeks, and he's getting results. And I think at first, because he's a first-time head coach, that's not his temperament.
Mm-hmm.
So he didn't know how to approach the team. He's always positive. But, man, it just shows you that if it's like the kids, Trae Young and all them, it takes time, man. And once you start figuring it out, because he has good philosophy.
Got to be patient.
Very patient.
Got to be patient.
And you know how you get those teams that preach defense, the coaches talk defense, but like, there's not a bone in you that think about defense.
Right.
And he always talking defense, but you're starting to see it, man. They hustle. That's what I like about them. And I was nervous because when Bud was there, remember how Bud would come in, like last year, they were horrible, but those teams play hard for Bud. Schroeder was diving on the floor. They were playing hard. And I wondered if we would get the same results in Atlanta now. But kudos to the coach. I think they got their guy, and I know you were saying that the Hawks shouldn't have came in and they shouldn't have, started over. But it looks like this might be working. It might be. It might be.
Yeah,
but let me tell you that who I think that will work and is going to work, I sat and watched them Golden State Warriors last night. and Boogie made his debut with the Golden State Warriors. I don't know if you all watched it, but when I say I was impressed, I mean, he got 2 fouls in the first
2 minutes.
3 minutes.
Yeah, something like that.
He fouled out.
Yeah, he fouled out.
He only played 15 minutes.
Yeah, and it was funny because that's what they said they wanted him to play 15 to 20 minutes. But he looked good, man, physically.
Yeah.
He the fact that he was hustling down the court, you know how most players, when they come back from that type of energy, you kind of think, they worry about the leg and, they're scared to make cuts. He was dunking. Right. He was cutting. He was moving. The fact that he could shoot threes, but then you saw him down low posting up. Like, what type of dynamic you think this will give the Golden State Warriors?
A very good dynamic because now you have another person to worry about on the outside the 3-point line. You also have another person to worry about in the post where they wouldn't get any kind of points because Damian Jones got hurt, so you wasn't getting any kind of post presence. Defensively, obviously, you're getting some fouls.
Is that fouls?
Yeah, because he's able to. I mean, he's able to be tough. He's able to be tough and rugged, and I think he had 6 rebounds last night. A couple of those led to easy points. So you're getting outlet passes. You kind of getting a lot with this.
The biggest thing I notice is what's going to benefit the Warriors is the fact that now he was doing a lot of screens, for the play. That's what all they do. But now you have another player that will set up the screen, but still you got to watch out for him to shoot the 3-pointer.
Yep.
Was it just like one of their, like when Kevin Durant first got there, like there was nothing you could do if Steph and Durant ran the pick and roll together. And now if it's Boogie and Steph or Boogie and Durant running the pick and roll, it's like, how do you defend something like that?
Because they were running it, and what happened was it would be Draymond. Draymond would have the ball. You would see either Durant or Steph, whoever was in the game, and he would set that pick. And then his man, the big man, would lay off of him, trying to, just stay home, whatever. And then Boogie had this open shot. And I think he made like 2 out of 4 or something like that. 3 out of 5 or something like that, I think. But it's a different dynamic. But then he's able to cut to the rim or post, keep the small guy on him, like I said, go to the post. It's so much this team can do.
The first 2 points he scored was a dunk.
Yeah,
off that dive
right,
to the basket.
Right. And like I said, it's spacing, and it seems like the biggest thing was that I hadn't seen in Boogie. See him smiling,
excited.
See him laughing, pointing to the bench, and I think that's the most underrated facet of Golden State's game is the camaraderie. Like this team, we saw what happened with Durant, and we saw what happened with Durant and Draymond, but this team truly likes each other. Like they have fun with each other.
And I think that's part of why he wanted to go there. And now you're going to see probably a different side of his personality because now he has the opportunity to play significant basketball, meaning going to the playoffs for the first time in his career, playing significant basketball the first time since he was at Kentucky.
And he's not the focal point.
And he doesn't have to worry about that.
All right.
I think Durant loved that, and I think that's why Durant now is like, all right, it's time to get out. Because I think now he wants that, but hey, this is a win-win-win situation. I thought, when I first heard, I'm like, I don't like this. But just looking at them, man, I really enjoyed them playing with each other, man. It was a sight to see, and I don't know if anybody gonna beat them. We'll see. Well, depends on who Carmelo goes to. I'm just kidding. All right, we're gonna take a quick break. We'll be right back talking college basketball. Keep it locked.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy Kent Bazemore from the Atlanta Hawks. You're now listening to 3-Point Conversion.
Have you been looking for a radio station that gives you sports,
I don't believe it! It's a touchdown!
entertainment,
Are you not entertained?
and other special interest talk shows?
Well, isn't that special?
All on one app?
Yo, that's dope. What app is that?
It's the Real 1100 AM app for WWE. Grab it for free in your Google Play or Apple App Store today.
Hey, I'm Diana Taurasi from the Phoenix Mercury, and you're listening to the 3-Point Conversion Radio.
All right, we are back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. All right, and it's time to talk some college basketball. We have somebody on the line that, man, we hadn't talked to in a long time. But college basketball is back, baby. My man, the one who knows basketball, college basketball that is, he knows basketball, period. From Takes, my man Deshaun Tate from 92.9 The Game, CBS Radio. What's going on, Deshaun?
Man, good morning. Appreciate you guys for having me on, man. I don't know why you brought me on here. I don't know nothing about none of that college basketball stuff. What is college basketball? Like, I thought in this market we only pay attention to football, man, that what I call that football stuff. What up?
What up, Tate?
Hey.
What up?
Hey, man, this has been an interesting year for college basketball. I mean, you finally have that excitement that I know you find excitement all the time, but just for the casual fan, it's excitement. You know, Duke is big time again, which you got to have a lot of Duke haters. You know, and then you got different teams coming on, especially a team like this team in the South, SEC, Tennessee Vols. Man, are they really, like, because they're ranked 30, 15-1, but why should we believe this team is good? Like, are they really that good? Why should we believe that Tennessee is a number 3 ranked team?
Well, besides the fact that Tennessee won its games to be put in that position, they have a very impressive resume, if you will, and they've been winning. I mean, they've been beating guys, and not just beating guys. They've been beating guys bad. Like a couple weeks ago, and I don't expect, have any high expectations for Georgia with Tom Crean in their first year or anything like that by any stretch of the imagination. But I didn't see Tennessee beating them by 50. Now, I know we're doing radio, and so I can't put up numbers with my fingers. I didn't say 15. I said 50. 50. I don't think Tennessee has the kind of team to where they should beat anybody, especially within conference play, by that margin of points. Does that say something about Georgia or Tennessee? Probably a little bit of both. I don't think that Georgia will shoot that bad from 3 ever again, where they made only 1 shot out of 20. They shot 5% from 3. So that obviously was really bad. And Tennessee obviously looked really good and probably wasn't missing shots. But when you look at the box score, the guys on this team shares the ball. All the guys are scoring. And they don't have any notables in terms of guys like, 5-star recruits or anything like that. And I think that's what separates them. And you look at some of the best teams in the country, and I know you just asked me about Tennessee, but you look at some of the best teams in the country, and they're teams that don't have all this amazing talent. You look at Tennessee, no 5-star players in the country. You look at Duke. What was I thinking? You look at Virginia, no 5-star players in the country. You look at Michigan, who's also undefeated, just like Virginia, no 5-star players around the country. So, and then you look at who's winning these national championships, and they're not necessarily teams that are loaded with 5-star talent. Villanova won 2 out of the last 3 years. I don't think they had any five-star talent on that team with the exception of the point guard Brunson that they lost last year. Like, when you realistically looking at this thing, man, it's making for a very interesting March Madness to come, and something that's going to be very unpredictable. But as good as Tennessee is, I think that it's Elite Eight or bust for them. This will be an extremely, extremely disappointing season if Tennessee doesn't make the Elite Eight, and I don't trust Rick Barnes enough to get them to Minnesota, where's the location of this year's Final Four. Sorry about that. I know I just went on a whole rant.
No, that's what we want. That's what we want.
What up, though? This is your boy H.O., man. Obviously, we talked about...
what up, though? I know who this is.
I heard the troll earlier, but we talked about Villanova, and they won 2 out of 3, and I get it. They lost some unexpected pieces, but they have taken a fall throughout this season trying to kind of get this train back on the track. My question is, do you think by tournament time, will they be one of the most dangerous teams in the tournament that nobody wants to play because of the coaching experience?
Because based on the coaching experience, yes. I think one thing that if I am the opposition, I'm more so not as concerned with just that because of the fact that Jay Wright ain't going out there putting no points on the board.
Right.
However, they still have guys returning that played key pieces. Now, they lost 4 guys between Brunson and Bridges and Spellman and DiVincenzo. But they also have Phil Booth on that team. And
Pascal,
obviously, Eric Pascal. And Colin Gillespie is a guy that not a lot of people are talking about. And, Javon Quinterly came into this year with high expectations and barely got off the floor and then kind of threatened to transfer maybe by saying there's a reason that this Villanova team was my second choice. Okay. On the team that he's playing for is what he said. But they've kind of, got that out of the way and they're playing much better. And I think they're only, lost 4 or 5 games. If you look at most teams around the country, there's a very few that are close, that are not close to that. I mean, Michigan and Virginia's undefeated, but outside of that, most other teams pretty much have about 2 to 3 losses. So it's not a stretch for Virginia, and they're playing in the Big East where right now, if I'm not mistaken, St. John's still leads the way. Mm-hmm. And Shamori Pons, who I think is the best point guard in the country, he's been out for the last couple games. And it's nothing for Virginia to get the ball back rolling as I saw them take care of Xavier last night, which also is nothing to sneeze at. But it won't surprise me to see Virginia come away and win this thing. As far as the NCAA tournament, when I said come away and win this thing, I was talking about the conference. Right. But as far as the NCAA tournament is concerned, can they be dangerous? Yeah, because there's so many teams here that can beat so many teams but can also be beaten by those teams. Right. And Villanova is just one of those teams that I can see them making a run, perhaps all the way to the Sweet 16. Maybe, and I know this is a stretch, but maybe the Elite Eight if they get hot. Right. But they can also be the team that loses in the first round, and there's a ton of teams that you can make those exact cases for.
Gotcha.
All right. Once again, we're here live with Deshaun Tate from 92.9 The Game, CBS Radio. You can follow him on Instagram and all the other platforms at Tate, T-A-T as in Tom, E, Take, T-A-K-E Sports. So Tate, Take Sports. All right.
Let me intervene just for a quick second. Mm-hmm. Sorry about that. Take Sports. T-A-T-E-S.
Oh, my bad.
T-A-K-E. It's all good. There's an S in between the Tate and the Take.
Take Sports. Take Sports. Say that 5 times.
Yeah, you can't say that 3 times fast, bro. I'll give you $100 if you can do that. You know what I'm saying? But it might be Monopoly money, though.
Right. So, look, you mentioned Duke, they don't have that many players. Oh, my bad. They do have just all-stars. But besides Zion Williamson, R.J. Barrett, Cam, all of them, what other players right now in college basketball who we should be keeping an eye on? Like, I mean, is there anybody you would say, man, keep an eye out on this guy right here, or players?
One guy's been getting a lot of hype and moving up the draft board, and some people this week was talking about a potential number 3 pick for a team behind, when we start talking about R.J. Barrett and Zion being off the board, which there's a significant drop, I think, and I think most people will agree with me. But a guy out of Murray State named Ja Morant, who is definitely an athlete, is definitely a scorer, and he's just one of the guys that seems like he just kind of came out of nowhere entering the season, and a lot of people didn't have him on their radar, including me. But he's clearly a really good talent. You're like, this guy can't be that good. And then next thing you know, you go and you're watching, and you're like, every game, it's like he keeps doing this over and over. It almost reminds me of Luka Doncic, right? When you first see, you're like, oh, okay, he's going to play tonight. Well, we'll see how long that lasts, And then you turn around and you see it again, and you're like, dang, this dude, every time I look up, he kind of, he look like he's putting some work in, but it probably won't last that long, And then next thing you know, it's like, dude, this dude's doing this every night. Like, wake up, And that's the kind of effect that he has had on the college basketball game. There's another kid that I like, and it's funny because H.O. was just asking me about the other night if there was a position at 2 for the Hawks, if there was a guy, who would you take? And I couldn't think of this guy's name for nothing, and I would challenge people to know who he is. And I'm going to tell you right now, Raphael, that if you don't know who this dude is, I'm kind of disappointed in you a little bit. Just half jokingly, half only. But this guy goes to Illinois. He's a Fighting Illini guy. He's a true freshman. Make sure I'm saying his name correctly, but his name is Ayo Dusumu is his last name. Ayo Dusumu. True freshman, probably about a good 6'5". I think 6'6" is a bit of a stretch, but 6'4", 6'5", can score the basketball and is like uberly, not necessarily just athletic, but talented. And it's not all projection, like so much, draft picks based on projection. I think he's going to be a really good pro, and I think can he stay an extra year and do 2 years? For sure. I think you could pretty much say that about every guy that's going to be coming out. But this guy wouldn't surprise me to be a one and done and one of the biggest steals of the draft that people are going to look back later and be like, wow. Because this is going to be realistically a draft class that I think is going to be one of the worst in years. But Xavier Simpson out of Michigan is also a really good talent who helped that team last year get to the Final Four because of how well he plays defensively. And I don't mean to. I know H.O. keeps saying I'm trolling, and I promise I'm not trolling. But I heard Jay Billis say yesterday that he thinks Trey Jones is the best defensive player in the country. And not only do I not think he's the best defensive player in the country, but I don't think he's the best defensive guard in the country. This guy, Xavier Simpson, if you ever watch him play, the starting point guard for Michigan, he's the real deal on the defensive end. And one of the biggest difference makers for Michigan this year and why they're undefeated is because he just so happened to put an offensive game with that defensive game. Now, it's not a pretty style of play, not just him, but the team in general, and that's why them in Virginia is not necessarily getting the recognition I feel that they deserve. Because there's very few teams in college basketball this year that seem like they kind of picked up where they left off, right? We see that they're balling this year. We saw last year they were balling, but it looked like they didn't skip a beat. There's 3 teams right offhand that I can say that was the case for. That's Michigan, even after losing Mo Wagner. That's also Virginia. And that's also Buffalo. 3 teams that look like after the season was over, they just picked up and started rolling all over again.
So there you have it. My man, Deshaun Tate, the knowledgeable one. Once again, follow him on 92.9 The Game, CBS Radio in Atlanta. Also, Tates, Tates,
There you go.
TAKE Sports. My man. Appreciate you for coming on, man. And, of course, we're going to have you back. You have a great and wonderful weekend. Go ahead. What you going to say?
No doubt, man. You all as well. Many blessings to you. Appreciate you for having me on. Are you sure that's everything? Because, I can sit here and run this stuff down to you all day long. Let's hurry up. Let's hurry up and get this Super Bowl and all this other little nonsense crap out of the way so we can start finally getting to the real stuff. 94 feet on campus on the hardwood. Appreciate you guys for having me, man. Thank you.
And Jay Billy said arguably anyway.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. Love having him on the show. We'll be right back for the weekend picks. Or I should say championship picks. We'll be right back.
Have a sports injury? Need to see an orthopedic doctor? Ortho Atlanta is one of Metro Atlanta's largest orthopedic and sports medicine practices, providing orthopedic and sports medicine care for the whole family. With 37 physicians and 14 offices, the practice provides the highest level of care for injury of muscles, joints, bones, and spine. Ortho Atlanta offers convenient access to a full range of musculoskeletal surgeons and specialists. Ortho Atlanta offers on-site physical therapy, pain management care, MRI imaging, and workers' compensation care. The Ortho Atlanta Surgery Centers in Austell and Fayetteville provide cost-effective, same-day surgical procedures in an accredited outpatient center. Hip, knee, shoulder, or back pain? Ortho Atlanta has you covered with specialists in all areas. Same-day appointments, orthopedic care for the whole family. Ortho Atlanta, Atlanta's choice for orthopedic and sports medicine care. Learn more at orthoatlanta.com.
What's up, man? It's Meta World Peace. Shout out to the 3-Point Conversion Radio.
Right, we are back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. Time for our picks. First of all, I guess we do this. We can't do upset of the week. We're not doing counterfeit teams.
Just pick one.
But quickly, well, before we get there, who is your nosy neighbor? Watch.
Dallas Cowboys. Just to see who they're going to hire for the OC. I mean, I just think that casualty or scapegoat is the word that we've been using. And many people said that the offense has not performed up to par based on the talent that they had, and you waited to this late in the season to actually fire your offensive coordinator. G say, well, Jason Garrett go take over. Well, that's not a popular decision either. So I'm watching to see what's next for America's team.
You know, I was thinking about watching Peters from not Kansas City, but from the Rams. You know, to see what happens with his matchup. Is he going to play well? But honestly, my nosy neighbor watch is on this situation with Kyler Murray. I want to see now, since he's put this out that he's coming to the NFL, I want to see what he does, but not only him, just the whole situation. I want to see what the Oakland A's come and do. You know, so I'm peeping through the window watching that and just see how it plays out now, because he shocked everybody. And this came from just, to me, 1 week when that last week of the season, he won the Heisman Trophy. Everything shifted and everything changed. None of us saw this, so that's my nosy neighbor watch. Who you got? NFC?
Rams.
Got the Rams?
Yeah. I'm a Falcon fan.
That's an
emotional
That's why
pick.
you talking all down. Come on, man.
That's an emotional pick.
Who you have?
Even though it will be a public safety issue, if they win and come down here, I'm picking the Saints.
Yeah, I have the Saints too. Where's Rick at? Where's Rick? That's what I want to know. But I have the Saints winning. Also, it's just hard to win. I think the Rams can win, but it's just hard to win.
They're fighting against history. Peyton and Breeze have never lost a playoff game in the Superdome.
Voodoo, all that crap. You know?
They beat him before. I know Aqib Talib will be there, but
yeah, I think the Saints can beat. I think the Rams can beat them, but like you said, it's I don't see them losing. AFC
Chiefs.
Oh,
going with the hot hand.
Who's hotter? Chiefs or the Patriots?
50 touchdown, hot. Yeah, 50. He's gonna melt some of that. If some of that chill today. I mean, you know, we keep saying Andy Reid, we keep saying this and that, but like we just said, I mean, he got all the talent. There's no way you got all of the talent. Gronk is a shell of himself. Eric Berry may play, that's an inspiration. And this is your signature moment to get rid of all of the things that we say why we don't trust you in these kind of situations. You have no other excuse at this point, Andy Reid.
Not because of that hot hand phrase.
Oh, my bad. You don't like that.
You know how much I hate that phrase.
Yeah.
But I'm still going to pick the Chiefs. If Damian Williams can give them anything, if they can run the ball at all, I think the Chiefs are going to win. That's what they'll have to do because of the weather and all that. But what the dynamic that they had with Kareem Hunt, he was able to run the ball too. I think Ware is out as well. So it's going to be on Damian Williams to make at least a play or two.
Right.
But if that happens, I think the Chiefs win, so I'm going to pick them.
I have Patriots. Patriots usually don't lose in championship games, especially as of late. And I think they're about to throw a knuckleball. I think the first game they played, it was kind of like, let's just see what this young kid could do.
Now, they have lost 3 AFC championships when they play on the road.
True.
But
right.
all 3 of those times were to Peyton Manning.
Right. So I think Belichick can throw that knuckleball. And I think since he's played him already, he's ready to throw this knuckleball, curve or sinker or what have you. And I think that the key is, we talk about a high hand, but can Kansas City stop the Patriots? And I think it comes down to that. If they can't stop them, they can't beat them. And they didn't stop them last time. They can't beat them. All right. We're going to go to G with our over and under.
You know how you just have that good feeling for a pick?
Do I feel lucky?
Yeah, that's this segment. It's time for Over Under with The Intellectual and Mr. Controversy, only on the 3-Point Conversion.
All right, so for this conference championship edition of Over and Under, we'll look at some prop bets that you may want to put some fruit cups on. That's an SRT term, fruit cups. But we'll keep it very simple here. Who do you think will have the most passing yards in the conference championships? And you know who the quarterbacks are. So who do you think will have the most passing yards?
I'm going with Tom Brady.
I'll go with Breeze.
All right. Let's go to the next one here. Who do you think will have the most rushing yards? This will be Todd Gurley, Sony Michel, Damian Williams, or Alvin Kamara.
Out of them 4, I would have went with C.J. Anderson, to be honest. But out of those 4, maybe Damian Williams.
I'm not even going out of those 4. I don't think you mentioned him, but I'm going. His name
Mark Ingram.
I'm going Ingram's name slipped my mind. I'm going Ingram. Just you can run on the Rams, especially if you're doing a draw. You can run on the Rams up the middle, because they're always pushing up to rush the quarterback. So I'm going Mark Ingram.
All right. And the last one here is how many interceptions total between the 4 quarterbacks will be thrown? It has been set at 3. Total interceptions by all 4 quarterbacks.
I'm going under.
You don't think that combined they're not going to throw 3 or more?
Mm-mm.
The weather's supposed to be cold. It will be 6 interceptions or more.
That's just in the AFC.
Breeze going to throw a pick.
Mm-hmm.
Breeze going to throw a pick. Marcus Peters getting him a pick or 2 in this game.
He sucks.
And Goff going to throw a pick. I don't know about Brady, but what's name's going to throw a pick or 2? Yeah, I say 6. I think it's going to be more than 3.
Really? Combined?
For all 4 quarterbacks?
Yeah. I mean, it's playoff time. Ain't nobody.
Breeze going to throw a pick.
There's 1.
Goff going to throw a pick. Going to throw a pick.
That's 2.
I think Breeze going to throw 2 picks.
Oh.
And I think your boy's going to throw 2 picks. Mahomes. So I say 5 or 6. I think 6. I don't think Brady's going to throw 1, but you never know. But I got 6 easily.
Okay.
Easily. They're going. Go ahead. So that concludes our weekend picks. We're going to take a quick break. What's on our mind?
What's good, family? I'm Marlon Sucker Free Jones, a Sucker Free Life double LC, and I'm locked in every Saturday to the best sports show on the planet, the 3-point conversion, where no team or no player is off limits. So let's talk sports, the best of the best, the worst of the worst, and everything in between. Can you dig that?
It's time to get in the mind of Mr. Controversy and the Intellectual with What's on My Mind.
All right, we are back inside the 3-point conversion sports lounge. This is What's on My Mind. It was brought to you by Sucker Free Life LLC. Make sure you choose your truth for the world to see, because everyone can be sucker free. Purchase your apparel today, facebook.com/Sucker Free Life LLC. That's SUCKA. So, what's on my mind? Honestly, it's so much going on in sports. I'm probably just gonna ram. I could talk boxing, NBA, NFL, what have you, but I'm gonna do this just because we filming. I didn't have this on film last time. I keep bringing it up. I had a discussion on Facebook, and no respect to anyone, just talking, and he was like, man, you know what? I guess we got done watching. I think Toronto was playing, and he was like, man, I'm not going to lie. Kawhi Leonard is the best two-way player out there, like, for sure, the best two-way player. Bro, either he's great, a good player, or he's just a player. What's a two-way player? Or maybe we should say one-way player. He's a one-way player. He only plays on the offensive side. The object of playing basketball is to play offense and defense. It's funny because back when I grew up watching basketball, remember they would just say, like Neek. Yeah, Neek, he nice, he just don't play defense. That's what you heard all the time. They probably didn't say that here in Atlanta, but you know, 'cause they want to hide that. But that's what they said. Oh, he just plays. But with Jordan, they never said, oh, he's a great two-way player. With Pippen, oh, he plays. No, he's a great player. But now we want to hide the weaknesses of these players and deem the players who play on both sides two-way players. NBA should just ban that term. As a matter of fact, from here on out, when Minnesota comes to town, Toronto came twice, I think. I don't know. But Minnesota, who else plays defense and offense?
Memphis? I don't know.
I mean, as far as the player has a player.
They have a player that plays offense.
Yeah,
it's a two-way player.
But when they come in, it's not LeBron anymore.
But say the Sixers, people say that about Jimmy Butler.
That's what I said. That's what I meant. Jimmy Butler. I'm thinking Minnesota. When Jimmy Butler comes in town, that's what I'm gonna ask him. When Chris Paul comes in town, I'm gonna ask him that. When you hear this term two-way player, do you take that offense? Because you play like you're supposed to play, whereas other players, all they do is play offense. So I'm sick of the two-way player. They need to ban it, and that's my rant, and that's what's on my mind. I hate that. That drives me crazy.
I see. Very, very vocal about that. Well, I'm going to be vocal about this. And I'm going to stick to basketball like you. And we just had a player in James Harden who has basically averaging 37 points a game at this particular point over the last 10 or 15 games or 10 games or whatever the case may be. Back-to-back games, 57 and 58. But in those games, he took an L. Are you more impressed with this fact that he can put up 57? Or can you say, well, what's the point of putting him up if you can't even win? My rant today is, why do we, if we just playing for the stats, then we don't need wins or losses. I think we need to channel our sports to where let's make winning a value instead of, well, I can get 60, I can get 50. But if you lost, what really does it matter? I mean, you got some players just got a whole bunch of stats. They'll get to the Hall of Fame. But the greatest thing ever, this is why we play team sport, is to say that we won this trophy together. And I think the fanboy fandom comes out when we see players just put up stats with no W. And I think it sends the wrong message to a team sport. And I think we really need to come off of that and get back into why we really, really play this game, and that is to win as a team. And that's what's on my mind.
All right. Gonna do this quickly because we're behind time. I think he just need help. He don't have no help right now. But anyway, I feel you though. But hey, I just want to thank everyone who listened, everyone who's participated. I want to thank DeShante for coming on. I want to thank Ortho Atlanta. I want to thank Cindy Cuz Barbershop. I want to thank Sucker Free Life LLC, Princess of the 3-Point Conversion, Miss Crystal Dayon. I want to thank G. I want to thank H.O., my man D Intellectual, everyone who listened, family and friends. We appreciate you. Make sure you love on family. Let them know that you love them. Eat good. Watch these sports, big games, fight, everything. Same time, same show next week. Same crazy host, same sports nonsense. Until then, will you miss me? I'm out. Peace.
Holla.
You just got done listening to the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. Be sure to follow us on our Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook accounts at The 3 Point Conversion. And also make sure you check out our website, the3pointconversion.com. Be sure to follow us live and listen every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern.